All rise. Judge Vonda B court is now in session. Judge, this is the case of the Kennedys.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Okay, Mr. Kennedy, you brought this case before the court.
Yes, ma'am.
What's going on?
So I'm sharing custody with our 12-year-old daughter now, and I'm just wanting a little more help with finances because as she's getting older, expenses are getting a little higher, and sports, dances, going out hanging with girls, and yeah, I just want a little more help on my end. I'm paying insurance already. And,
okay. How much are you paying in insurance?
$130.
All right. And what is your daughter's name?
Autumn.
Autumn. Oh, what a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Autumn. Okay. So what type of expenses does she have that are increasing?
Yeah, she's doing volleyball right now, and we're thinking that she's going to be doing that in high school as well.
Okay.
So just, athletic wear and then traveling, going to places. I want to go and support her and as well as her, but, I'm the one having to drive and take her if I don't want her to ride the bus because I don't feel her safe doing that.
Okay. Is this a school bus or?
Yeah, it's a school bus.
With her teammates?
With her teammates, yes.
And you don't feel that she should ride with her teammates?
If it's really far away, maybe like an hour or more, I'll
Okay.
drive her, but if it's 30 minutes or less, I'll usually let her typically go.
Okay, that's understandable. Okay, is there anything else you want me to know before I move on?
Okay guys, hold on tight. We're going to look at a situation today where the mother has a CEO spouse and the father is tired, but child support is still debatable. When his 12-year-old daughter becomes more active in sports and other activities that are costing him money, Mr. Kennedy takes the initiative to seek the court for assistance. This dad is taking care of everything, from insurance to dance classes, and he just needs some help. He's displaying receipts and not throwing fingers. But just when you think this will be a straightforward appeal for justice, Mom interrupts with a story that is more about lifestyle choices than it is about the daughter. It's rapidly heating up.
I mean, we have a lot of stuff that we need, so yeah. Ma'am, is there anything you want to add or subtract from what he said?
Yes, Your Honor, I do feel that he's trying to take advantage of my new relationship.
Okay, tell me about this new relationship.
Well, I can't really help who I have fallen in love with. So my new husband is a fantastic provider. However, I do get an allowance, and it isn't as much as you would think coming from, well, my husband's a CEO of an energy company, so you would expect a huge allowance, but obviously he has to protect all of his hard-earned income.
What type of allowance do you receive?
About $500 a week.
$500 a week, okay. All right.
So, which really isn't that big a deal. I mean, obviously.
That big a deal in terms of the amount of money, or you paying child support for more in child support for the child living with him and having increased expense?
Well, I don't think it's that big a deal to Mr. Kennedy because he has a pretty healthy income himself.
But you do understand his income does not have anything to do with an increase in what you should be paying in child support, right?
Yes, I understand that, but what
Okay.
I don't think has been considered yet is the fact that I set aside furthering my education, though I wanted to pursue that, so that he could go get his MIS degree and then a master's in something. So I'm not sure that it's fair. I would like to consider all the money that wasn't spent on me that should have been spent on me.
Mom just dropped a bomb, so hold on tight. She asserts that the father's request is more about her new connection than it is about the daughter. That's correct. She claims that she receives a weekly payment of $500 from her CEO spouse. And, all of a sudden, envy is blamed for dad's child support issues. However, the calculations don't add up. The court has little interest in private aircraft or fancy cars. Judge Vonda B wants to know if the mother is meeting the requirements of her child. Additionally, Mom is rapidly realizing that being married to a millionaire does not absolve her of financial obligation, despite the distractions. This isn't a flex in court. It's a reckoning.
Yeah, no, that's not how this works. And sir, she says she gets a $500 a week allowance from her husband, and who is a CEO of an energy company. Briefly, how much money does your husband make?
I'm really not sure.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's a lot.
It's a lot?
I think so.
When you say a lot, is it like in the 200,000s, 300,000s?
Well, the car that he drives was about 200,000.
Oh.
So I'm thinking you probably have to
You
make
only
more
get a
than that.
$500 a week allowance? You know what? That's not my business. That's not the reason I'm here. I'm not going to even entertain that.
That's what I was thinking too.
I'll just move on. Sir, do you know how much money her husband makes a year?
I don't, but he's the Steve Jobs of the town of
Steve
energy.
Jobs.
So,
So let me ask you this. Are you expecting her child support to be based on his Steve Jobs?
no,
job?
his success has nothing to do with me or my daughter or our
Okay.
daughter. And like I said, I just want a little more help because she is
Okay.
getting older. And, if she's happily married with whoever and how big his wallet is, that is totally up to her.
Okay, well, I'm glad that's not what you were doing because you can't do that anyway. But what we can do, ma'am, is make you pay more in child support because at this point you've been paying zero. Because from what I see, you're a stay-at-home mom, which is absolutely okay. But you do understand that your child has increased expenses, correct?
Yes, I do see that.
Okay,
but
so after yes, I do see that, that means that I don't need any further response. So you understand that, right?
well, how much are we talking about?
We're going to base it off that $500 a week allowance that you make.
Okay.
So, based on that, I have your gross at $2,000 a month. After you take out the calculations for the taxes, your net comes out to $1,662.53. Okay? That will give you a child support obligation of $266. However, you also heard him say that he pays $130, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
In medical insurance for the child. You're going to
Judge Vonda B is always on time. She dissects it. Mom consistently receives a $2,000 monthly allowance, but she hasn't been paying any child support. And the judge isn't having it when Mom tries to change the subject to her lost hopes and prior education. Judge Vonda corrects the record. Child support focuses on current needs rather than wishes for the past. She computes the monthly amount of $266 plus $130 in insurance reimbursement with surgical accuracy. Boom. The last figure is $396. You can practically see Mom's mouth drop to the ground. But she has one last astounding allegation, so it's not quite done yet.